afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this fake spring day.
It actually feels very nice outside. I just came in. I was out on a story on campus, and it felt very nice. It felt a little springy.
It's 40 degrees.
I know.
It's not going to last.
No.
We'll get more on that coming up. But first, topping our news today with Halderson on hold due to COVID, 18 jurors are left to their own devices through early next week. So what does that mean for both sides in the homicide trial?
A surge in COVID cases leads to a surge in supplies, specifically masks in Dane County. We'll show you how you can get one of your own, and we'll be taking your calls later this hour as well for Dr. Zorba Pastor. And
you can help this puppy walk again. We'll hear from the Humane Society on what it'll take. But first, let's take a look outside. You know, if the students had been on campus, they're off. I bet you'd see a lot of shorts today.
I think you're right. The sunshine felt good.
More like winter, though, in the forecast. Julian's in the backyard with the not-so-great news.
That's right. Well, at least for today, we do have great news. I don't even need a coat outside on our weather patio. But the good news is that we are going to be seeing the rest of this evening, or at least for the next few hours, some pretty good temperatures for us. Right now, it's 40 degrees here in Madison as we're looking at plenty of sunshine and blue skies for us as we're going throughout the rest of the day. And temperatures in southern Wisconsin in themselves are into the 40s, upper 30s. It's feeling really good. So that kind of using the loose term of it feels a bit like spring. Well, yes, here in January on the 12th day, it's feeling pretty good because we've seen some significant temperature change once again. Yesterday, we saw about 20 degrees of an increase today into those teens once again as we're going in throughout the rest of today. And a good thing is that the wind speeds are definitely pretty calm throughout much of southern Wisconsin, even though they try to pick up just a little bit here in Madison. So as you're planning out the rest of your evening, just know temperatures are going to drop just a bit to a more normal. It's not going to be as cold as it has been in the last few days. And on top of that, the wind chill is not even going to be a factor either as we go throughout the rest of today or tonight, as well as we go throughout the rest of what we're going to be seeing. But as we transition to what we're going to see for our traffic as of right now, heading into the 4 o'clock hour, we're looking pretty good. Some slow spots as you're going on to the eastbound or westbound, excuse me, of the belt line. But heading into the interstate as of right now, we're still looking pretty green as we're going throughout the rest of our evening hour. But we'll have much more on what else to expect coming up in a few moments because we have more winter-like conditions on the way. Until then, back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, it's the middle of January. You got to expect that. Julian, thank you. Well, we thought it was going to be day 7 of the Halderson trial. Instead, the case has been put on hold after Chandler Halderson tested positive for COVID-19. The attorneys left the courtroom this morning and appeared via Zoom as the jury was informed. Halderson listened in on the phone.
I do not believe that you in any way would have been subject to exposure, but I do have to suspend our proceedings for a period of time because we cannot do any of our work through remote access through Zoom or any other means. It just is not.
Attorneys on both sides agree that the trial could not proceed via Zoom. Defense attorneys said Chandler Halderson did not want to ask for a mistrial. Due to CDC guidelines on quarantining and the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday on Monday, Judge Hyland said the earliest the trial could resume is Tuesday, January 18th. We'll have more on all this later in this broadcast. Hundreds of boxes filled with masks are not sitting idle for long this week. In fact, one day after arriving in Dane County, they're already in the hands of people who need them urgently.
Tahalil Moeddin joins us now to share where you can get your hands on some better protection. Tahalil?
Well, for a while, N95 masks weren't easy to come by, but with the help of Governor Evers, the Boys and Girls Club was able to secure 200,000 this week. Volunteers from the club and partner organizations began handing out bags of N95 masks for adults and KN95 masks for kids this afternoon. The club's chief development officer, Laura Ford Harris, says the mass distribution drive-through near Allied Drive is an extension of the work they've been doing since March of 2019.
Your Boys and Girls Clubs are not just clubs for youth, but we're actually community centers. So this is a part of our community work, getting involved and addressing the needs of those in our community.
Each person is given 10 of each mask size along with hand sanitizer. The club will continue to give out masks every Tuesday through Friday while supplies last. And since the start of the pandemic, the Boys and Girls Club have given out more than 2 million masks.
Heel, thank you. The Biden administration is increasing federal support to schools during the Omicron surge with a plan to send out 10 million tests.
Omicron's grip on the U.S. is driving case counts to record highs, and the CDC says the variant now accounts for almost all of them. Skylar Henry has more.
The CDC says the Omicron variant is now responsible for 98% of new COVID cases in the U.S.
The sudden and steep rise in cases due to Omicron is resulting in unprecedented daily case counts, sickness, absenteeism, and strains on our healthcare system.
The U.S. is averaging 751,000 cases a day. That's up 47% from last week. Nearly 20,000 daily hospitalizations and 1,600 deaths a day.
I suspect the deaths that we're seeing now are still from Delta.
The surge collides with cold and flu season, and many pharmacy shelves are bare. But there's reassuring news about Omicron, too.
If you're vaccinated and if you're boosted, the chances of you getting sick are very, very low.
The Biden administration announced a plan on Wednesday to send 5 million rapid tests and 5 million lab-based PCR tests to schools nationwide to help them stay open.
These 10 million additional tests available each month will allow schools to double the volume of testing they were performing in November.
Chicago children returned to classrooms Wednesday after a 5-day standoff between the teachers union and the city over safety protocols.
We want our kids to be safe. We also want our kids in school. Glad that they're able to come to an agreement.
Minnesota's governor is moving $40 million to help state hospitals with staffing shortages. And the U.S. Army is storing cash at its pandemic recruitment problem, offering a maximum bonus of $50,000 to highly skilled soldiers who join for 6 years. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
A funeral was held today for James Ludlum, one of the Mineral Point firefighters killed in a crash last week. The service was held at St. Mary and Paul Catholic Church in Mineral Point. Ludlum was then laid to rest at St. Mary's Cemetery. Joe Pulvermacher from the Fitchburg Fire Department detailed what members of a small fire department can mean to a town.
Here in Mineral Point, with 2 firefighters being killed in the line of duty, there's a level of significance based on the size of this department that they were influential members of the department, and it has an impact not only on the fire department but the fire department families and the community in and of itself.
Ludlum and Fire Captain Brian Bush were in a fire truck trying to turn onto an emergency crossover on Highway 151 when a northbound semi hit his truck. Captain Bush, the driver of the truck, was also killed in the crash. His funeral will be held on Friday.
A 6-year-old Colorado girl is out of the hospital just 2 days after falling into a freezing pond. Now she and her family are meeting all of the people who helped to get her and her 2 siblings out of that frigid water. On Sunday, 6-year-old Zakira Williams and her siblings fell through the ice at a pond next to some apartments. Neighbor Dusty Talavera dove into the pond to try and save them. Body camera footage shows the intense efforts to save her little life after she was pulled from the water. Zakira was not breathing after spending several minutes under the surface.
When I seen them on the video performing their duties, you could see the passion and emotion in them by what they were saying. Come on, baby, yes, come on, sweetheart, come on. Like they were talking to their own children.
Dusty almost drowned herself before another hero got a rope and pulled them both out of the frigid water. Yesterday, those heroes had a chance to meet the little girl and a family so grateful for each of their efforts. They say this was a miracle.
Some Australian residents say they were unimpressed by a recent statement released by Serbian tennis star Novak Djokovic, attributing a mistake on his documents for entry into Australia as human error. Djokovic was held in immigration detention in Melbourne for several days after his visa was canceled by border officials who questioned his medical exemption for a requirement to be vaccinated for COVID-19. He was later released when a judge ruled the cancellation of the visa was unreasonable. Djokovic posted a statement via social media today saying that his travel declaration was filled in by his support team, who made an administrative mistake week when they ticked the no box in response to whether Djokovic had traveled elsewhere in the 14 days before he arrived in Australia.
Well, I don't like his arrogance. I feel he's come across as he's above it all. But it does feel like we've stuffed up on our side. And so it's a bit of a mess. But you know, I've seen his statements, and it does seem that he's been telling a few fibs too. So I think he should just probably go back.
Djokovic's statement came as Australia's immigration minister Alex Hawke considered whether to cancel the #1 tennis player's visa ahead of the Australian Open, which begins on January 17th.
A federal judge in New York has denied Prince Andrew's request to dismiss a sexual complaint against him. Virginia Guffey is suing the British royal for allegedly having sex with her when she was 17 years old. She claims the late Jeffrey Epstein trafficked her and forced her to have sex with his friends, including Prince Andrew. Guffey alleges the prince knew that she was underage at the time. The judge is allowing the case to continue. Prince Andrew denies the allegations against him.
The Dane County Humane Society is asking for the public's help to pay for a surgery to help a puppy walk again. The puppy, a 4-month-old they named Farley, was badly injured, probably by a car, and cannot walk or use his back legs. The Humane Society is looking to raise $5,000 for surgery to help make Farley mobile again. Farley was found laying alongside Buckeye Road last Thursday. DCHS said he suffered head trauma to the front of his mouth and nose, as well as injuries to both of his back legs. Farley's leg injuries could lead to severe issues as he gets older if he doesn't undergo surgery soon.
He is very affectionate, gave me lots of kisses, tail wagging constantly, and just lots of snuggles. And it's important right now for his age too that he get attention, because puppies love attention. They need attention. It's part of their growth. So socialization is very important right now.
Humane Society veterinarians have reached out to local orthopedic specialists at Madison Veterinary Specialists for help treating Farley's leg injuries. A surgery is scheduled for tomorrow. After surgery, Farley will likely be put up for adoption. If you want to donate to help with Farley's surgery, go to giveshelter.org/Farley, or you can drop off an envelope at the Dane County Humane Society labeled Farley. Until then, DCHS says they will keep Farley comfortable with pain medications and loving care. Look at that face.
Best of luck to him.
Aww.
Well, still to come at 4, a pause in the Chandler Halderman trial due to the defendant contracting COVID. Channel 3000's digital content manager has been watching every minute of the trial and lets us know what could happen next. That's when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
All this?
We call them options.
Options? Don't make me laugh.
Unbeatable selection without the drama. 2 pair plus a free eye exam as low as $59.95.
No matter what you do, who you are, or how much money you earn, when it comes to doing taxes, don't go it alone. Jackson Hewitt Tax Pros will make certain you don't miss out on a single deduction. Get the biggest refund you deserve at Jackson Hewitt.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
Grass looks great, Zeus. Hey, could you maybe trim the hydrangea too?
Sure thing, Kevin.
You want me to do the box suits as well?
No.
Finding the right person for the job isn't always easy. But when you have an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can give you personalized advice and could help you save hundreds.
Hey, Medusa, let's boogie.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, get to know your local Geico agent today.
You've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you still need to see your dentist because getting good dental care is important to your overall health. You know dental bills can take a big bite out of your budget, especially if you're retired or on Medicare. Even a simple cleaning can cost $200. And other procedures like crowns and root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company can help. Give us a call or go online for this free information kit with all the details. This isn't just a discount plan. This is real dental insurance that can help pay for over 350 covered procedures like cleanings, fillings, crowns, even dentures. There are no deductibles, no annual maximum, and you can see any dentist you like. So don't wait. Call now or go online for your free information kit from Physicians Mutual.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Welcome back. You've probably heard of it being so hot you could fry an egg on the sidewalk.
But parts of New Hampshire were so cold this morning you could freeze spaghetti in seconds. According to Mount Washington Observatory, someone was trying to have a meal when their pasta froze in midair with the fork suspended in the air between the noodles. The observatory reported 30 below temperatures with 65-mile-per-hour winds yesterday. That area at the time was under a wind chill warning.
I can see why. Well, this morning, lawmakers on Capitol Hill honored the late former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. Reid's body was lying in state at the Capitol Rotunda. The Nevada Democrat served in the U.S. Senate for 3 decades. He was the 6th longest-serving leader in the Senate of any party. President Joe Biden, who served with Reid in the Senate, called him one of the all-time great Senate Majority Leaders in our history. Reid died December 28th after a 4-year battle with pancreatic cancer. He was 82.
Well, if prices seem high to you right now, you're right. The latest government data shows inflation has hit a 39-year high. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported the Consumer Price Index, which is a measure of the prices Americans pay for a market basket of everyday goods and services, jumped 7% in the 12 months ending in December. That is the largest 1-year increase since June of 1982. Inflation is climbing at the fastest pace in nearly 4 decades. The Federal Reserve plans multiple interest rate hikes this year to help fight inflation. Policymakers have already signaled a rate hike could come as early as March.
On Wall Street, stocks rose slightly as investors eye inflation data. The Dow Industrials added 38 points, ending the day at 36,290. The NASDAQ gained almost 35 points, and the S&P 500 was up 13. Well, the Chandler Halderson case is on pause after Chandler tested positive for COVID yesterday.
The case will restart on January 18th at the earliest. That's after the Martin Luther King Day holiday.
Channel 3000's digital content manager, James Langer, has been watching every single minute of this trial, manning our live stream and giving you recaps while the court is not in session. He joins us now live from the newsroom. James?
Hi, James.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. You've talked to a lot of people about this. How unusual is this to have a pause in the middle of a murder trial?
From what I've heard, it's really unusual. I spoke to an attorney earlier today. She's a defense attorney. She says, you know, we've been back in in-person court for a little while now, trying to navigate a pandemic and a trial. Obviously nothing to this extent, but she couldn't think of anything like this happening. You know, there's contingency plans in place. There might be a juror or something that has to be replaced, but nothing quite like this, where the actual defendant on trial is the one that tests positive and causes the whole case to kind of go on hold for several days.
And there will be a week gap now before the trial resumes. Will the jury be expected to remember all of the testimony? And is it realistic to assume that they won't watch news coverage of the case in that period?
Yeah, I think whether it's realistic kind of depends on who you ask, but they will be counted on to remember things. Of course, they do have those notebooks in the courtroom. They can take notes during testimony, that kind of thing. So they will be able to refer back to that once they're back in the courtroom. But those notebooks stay there in those juror seats. They can't refer to them while they're out on break. And, you know, yeah, the other question here, whether it's realistic to expect somebody to not even coincidentally go and find information. Of course, when you're a juror in a case, that's expected of you. You can't go out and search for additional information, or you can't even really overhear it. And that's going to be a big challenge over the next at least 5 business days. As you guys mentioned, Tuesday, December 18th, the earliest that they could be back. It could be longer than that too, but I talked to an attorney today, and she said it's kind of wishful thinking that this might be the case. Take a look at what she said.
I find that to be a little bit of magical thinking, no matter how well-intended and earnest jurors are. They're home, they're probably quarantining because they've been in this courtroom with a positive COVID. Their family's going to want to know what's been going on. Similarly, they're sitting at home, they have access to media.
Yeah, so as you said, it's kind of just human nature for us, right, to be kind of curious about things, especially something this high profile. We don't know who these jurors are, obviously, but, you know, it's understandable to think they might have families at home thinking, hey, so what's going on? What's on your mind here? And they just can't answer that.
And Gemma seemed to indicate that if she were trying this, defending this case, that she might call for a mistrial.
Yeah, I asked her, if you were in this situation, how would you handle it? And she just said she would ask for a mistrial. Not over anything, you know, at fault of anyone, but it's just kind of an unusual situation, and the chances of the jury pool kind of being tainted by some outside information from the defense's point of view is pretty high. And she also mentioned, too, as a defense attorney, you know, we're in the middle of the state's case here. They've heard nothing but the state's side of this story for a week straight. A lot of circumstantial evidence to go through. That's what's going to be on jurors' minds as they sit here at home for the next week.
Yeah, very unusual circumstances. James, thank you so much, and our thanks to Jessa Nicholson as well, who has been great guiding us through all of these legal, legal cases that are complicated and have so much nuance. So, James, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Still to come at 4, COVID has hit the restaurant industry especially hard, right, Susan? Oh, now it's my turn.
Go for it.
And the Omicron variant, maybe the nail in the coffin for some. We'll have more on that coming up after Julian's first warn forecast.
Cold winds, ice, snowy, slippery conditions. Be prepared for winter weather. Trust the News 3 Now First Warn Weather Team to give you clear, timely, and accurate info. So when severe winter weather is coming, you'll have plenty of time to plan your life, keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified most accurate team, First Warn Weather, only on News 3 Now.
Clog their defenses. Sir, yes, sir.
Combat leaves debris and damage to your home and property all year round with a solution you can get and forget. LeafGuard is the only gutter system guaranteed never to clog, whatever the weather. Call 1-833-LEAFGUARD today for a free in-home estimate and get a $50 gift card. Defend your gutters from clogs forever with LeafGuard. Call 1-833-LEAFGUARD today.
Fixed. No charge.
Ah, that's my son. He always takes care of his mama.
Ooh, what's up with Granny's casserole?
It's for after your Uncle Joe's funeral. My brother didn't have a life insurance policy.
I hear there's a collection to help Aunt Adele.
Yeah, a funeral costs north of $9,000 these days. That's a hefty bill for family to pay if there's no life insurance check to help.
Wow. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Which reminds me, I've been meaning to tell you, I got that $9.95 plan from Colonial Penn. I'm on a fixed income, so price is important.
The life insurance on TV.
Just $9.95 a month to help you pay my funeral expenses. What about your family, son? You've got a wife and kids, and a grandson living with you now, too.
Maybe I should get the $9.95 plan, too. Thing is, this has been a rough year for my business, Ma. Money's tight. Still, For $9.95 a month? I don't have a good excuse, do I?
I'm Jonathan for Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. If you're age 50 to 85, just $9.95 a month buys whole life insurance with guaranteed acceptance. You cannot be turned down for any health reason. There are no health questions. Guaranteed lifetime coverage. Your insurance can never be canceled. Just pay your premiums. Guaranteed lifetime rate lock. Your rate can never increase. It's locked in as soon as you're covered and stays the same for the rest of your life. With guarantees like these, it's no surprise the $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life insurance.
Now don't forget, wear your good suit tonight. And please call about the $9.95 plan today while it's on your mind, okay?
Call now for free information.
Call 1-800-505-7613 for free information and your free beneficiary planner. No obligation. 1-800-505-7613. That's 1-800-505-7613. Call now.
Well, take a look at this. How's your day going? Probably better than this guy. You have to be careful when loading the trunk of your car. This man's loading an instrument and an amplifier into his hatchback. The problem is the speaker's sitting up too high. He closes the hatch. As soon as it happens, you can see the poor driver realizing his mistake. That's a horrible feeling. It's not a good day. And there he stands. He knows what happens. Doesn't even want to look at it.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Does he even realize what happened?
Yeah, he realized there. Now he's looking around. So be careful. All right, Julian. Well, we don't have to worry about that at least today around here with this nice weather.
No, we do not. We have had such a nice Wednesday, but it's not going to be sticking around. Instead, winter is going to be returning its way. So we're going to take a look with the full forecast coming up after the break.
iMart Express is the only place where you can count on same-day service. Thanks to our local labs, shop our huge selection and get quality glasses at a price you'll love. And see better today. Right glasses, right price, right now.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I?
Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. They're so hard to hide and so hard to get rid of. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes.
This new year, in just 10 minutes, you'll look incredible.
This is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home. It's a cream. It's a topical. It literally creates an invisible layer that tightens the skin and smooths it out. All you do is gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it and I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. I'm telling you, it really works.
I thought I might see a little difference, but to see that big of a difference, and I felt something happening, but I had no idea. Like, I have so many dark circles, I have the puffiness, I have the lines. Like, it's amazing. I love it.
I did this to my father at home because I was skeptical. Yes, I admit it. 4 minutes, 34 seconds. The appearance of his under eye bag was completely gone. We were screaming. You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself. I am telling you, the videos that you see on social media and TV are real.
This new year is the best time to get Plexiderm for only $14.95 and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Oh. Sorry, I didn't realize we were doing a promo.
We're taking. Oh, yeah, and we're going to be looking at our weather as of right now. Once our graphics start to pull up for us, thank you for joining us. We're going to be seeing such a gorgeous day, and as we head into the rest of our evening, yeah, we're going to be looking at temperatures to still stick into around the 30s and not be nearly as cold for us as we have been sticking around throughout the rest. And as soon as, here we go, taking a look at what we're seeing for our current conditions right now in Madison. 40 degrees right now. Hardly seeing any cloud cover either as we're going into the rest of our evening hours, and the winds are not too bad either. So wind chills are not nearly as much of a factor as they have been in the last few days. And taking a look at our almanac from today, 42 degrees was our high for today, well above our average, which is usually around 27 degrees around this time of year. So that's right, we're looking at a pretty good Wednesday for us as we're getting things rolling. Southern Wisconsin has areas in Platteville, 38 degrees, 41 in Janesville, and even to the west with Prairie du Chien and Boscobel into those 40s as well. So once again, we're looking at pretty good conditions. It's hardly feeling like January as we're getting throughout the rest of our evening hours. And here's a look at our 24-hour change. Much of that significant increase in temperatures once again with double digits here in Madison and single digits around this time of day for Platteville and for Janesville as well. And with our wind speeds, once again, hardly a factor for us. We're not looking at much in terms of wind chills like we have been in the past couple of days. Temperatures will go back to pretty normal as we go into tonight, however, as we drop into around 33 and into those middle 20s going into the rest of the evening. So just know, on top of that, we are going to be looking at cloud cover to build for us once again, with temperatures being around 23 degrees for us, but we could potentially see some flurries for some of us later on. And that's why we're looking at our surface map to start to produce a bit of that activity for us as we head into our Thursday and Friday. So the back end of this work week with this low starting to set up just a bit more west of southern Wisconsin is looking to be bringing in some activity for us. But for this evening, we're looking pretty quiet. As we go into the overnight hours, some areas might see some flurries, but for the most part, clouds are going to blanket us as we go into some pretty normal temperatures. Going into our morning commutes, still going to be onto the quiet side. And then as we head into our Thursday afternoon and evening commutes, might start to see some flurries starting to roll their way in overnights. But really, what we're going to be keeping our eye on is the evening commutes on Friday for friends over near Grant County, as we're looking for a mess, starting to see some of that organized snow really hitting into the southwestern Wisconsin for us and closer to the Mississippi. Now, as we take a look, that's where we're going to see a lot of our snowfall totals as well, is over into the southwestern areas and, of course, west of the Mississippi. Once again, it's where we're going to be seeing those snow totals be sticking around for us. Could still see some flurries around here, but we're not looking at much in terms of any significant snowfall for us here in Madison or into Dane County. But as we take a look at our 10-day forecast, we will be returning back to more wintry conditions as we're going to be seeing into those 20s, looking into the rest of the day as we see for 20-degree temperatures will be returning for us as we go throughout the rest of the weekend. But until then, just enjoy for what we have this evening, guys, because it's definitely not feeling like winter just yet.
A little January thaw. It feels good today.
Absolutely.
Julian, thank you.
Yeah.
The Omicron COVID-19 surge is hurting restaurants nationwide.
Supply shortages, staff shortages, and fewer diners are all putting a massive strain on the industry.
And while some analysts say the latest COVID-19 wave is probably just a bump in the road, many restaurants and chains say they may have to shut their doors soon. Vanessa Yurkovich reports.
We have been warning about this moment for a long time.
Restaurants across the country, quiet, facing uncertainty, and many on the brink of closing again. Carolyn Stein, LA restaurant owner and co-founder of the Independent Restaurant Coalition, saw it coming.
We knew that it just was one more wave, one big variant, one bad winter away from disaster for a lot of restaurants.
Omicron has crushed restaurants. This week, diners dropping by an average of 28% nationwide compared to 2020, according to OpenTable. The $28.6 billion Restaurant Revitalization Fund, or RRF, saved many restaurants from closing last year. But with nearly 300,000 applications, only about a third got funding before the money ran out.
The only reason I'm not closed at my restaurant right now is that we got a grant, and it's helped us get through this moment.
In a letter to Congress, the Independent Restaurant Coalition, along with about 30 mayors, are sounding the alarm, calling for the RRF to be replenished for the nearly 180,000 applicants who missed out. Without it, they say it will be catastrophic.
The financial hit to the country is huge when you lose restaurants, to the neighborhood, to the community, and to the job market in general.
In New York City, Gotham Bar and Grill has survived 37 years. But with reservations down 80%, managing partner Brett Senses says he doesn't know how much longer they'll last.
It could be the end of January. It could be into March or April, but it's not very long.
A bipartisan Restaurant Revitalization Fund Replenishment Act was introduced last year but stalled in Congress. It would bring $60 billion in additional grants to restaurants like Gotham, who say they missed out last time.
It was incredibly frustrating.
And in a move that seems counterintuitive, restaurants like Gotham and City Winery say they're still paying staff even on days they're closed. Workers are in such high demand, it pays to keep them.
I have no business, but please come work for us and we'll pay you. You know, that's not normal logic in business.
With 12 City Winery locations across the country, Dorff says money from replenishing the RRF would help cover staffing, rent, and other lost revenue.
We didn't receive a penny of the Restaurant Act.
Could you have used that money?
Yes. Pre-Omicron, I feel we would have been fine. Now that we've lost $2 million in the last 3 weeks from operations, yeah, we can use that money.
And some restaurants that rely heavily on drive-thru say the Omicron wave may actually help increase sales. Well, coming up next on Live at 4, Dr. Zorba Pastor is getting ready to take your medical calls. And then at 5, he's made headlines during his 20-month tenure keeping Wisconsin's colleges, campuses open and clashing with the legislature when necessary. Now Republican Tommy Thompson sits down with Naomi Coles after announcing his resignation this spring as UW System interim president. That's at 5.
The LINX device stops reflux by using magnets to strengthen the muscle at the end of the esophagus, and this prevents acid from flowing from the stomach back into the esophagus.
Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Test rest a Beauty Rest Black or Black Hybrid at Steinhoffel's, and you could win a 2-year lease to a 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLA 250. Beauty Rest Black is the ultimate in luxury and comfort. Queen mattresses start at just $23.99. Plus, get a free weighted blanket and $200 in Steinhoffel's cash. And with Steinhoffel's special financing and free delivery, buying a Beauty Rest Black has never been easier. Relax, it's Steinhoffel's and Steinhoffels.com.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salonpas.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Prepare to feel good in 2022. Join Planet Fitness now for zero enrollment, $10 a month, extended to January 14th. Enjoy tons of equipment in our clean clubs for zero enrollment.
Zero enrollment?
And $10 a month.
That makes me so happy.
You know what else will make you happy? Blowing off steam in our judgment-free zone.
It's all about the endorphins, baby. What's up?
It's this place, I tell you.
Amen, baby.
Feel Fit-tacular in 2022 for zero enrollment, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 14th.
About 40% off lenses with purchase of a frame. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Habitat homes are built and bought by the hardworking families that live in them. Through affordable mortgages backed by your donations, Habitat Dane County offers a chance for these families to invest in their future and their community. Please donate or volunteer today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Schwab, General Surgeon at Stoughton Health. If you suffer from reflux, please join us for our upcoming seminar on the LINX device, a new and innovative treatment to stop reflux.
Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Tonight at 5, there's been a halt to the Chandler Halderson homicide trial. What's causing the delay and what options will the defense have moving forward?
And there are a few light snow chances in the forecast, but not for everyone. We'll take a closer look at our future track.
And then at 6, Naomi Coles has a one-on-one with Tommy Thompson. He shares his accomplishments, his regrets, and advice for the next in line. That's coming up tonight at 6. Here's a live look at downtown Madison on this 40-degree January 12th day. We'll take it, right?
Beautiful. A little bit of a gift.
Yep. Well, the Omicron-fueled COVID surge continues to spread.
If you have COVID questions that you'd like to get answered, get ready to pick up the phone.
Dr. Zorba Pastor will take your calls in just a minute, but he joins us now from his clinic in Oregon. Thanks for being with us today, Zorba.
Hi, Zorba. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Let's talk about COVID and mental health and depression. I think 2 years in, people are just had enough.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a big issue, especially a big issue with teenagers and with young adults who are just developing. They're developing in terms of their friends, their relatives, their family. All of a sudden, COVID came in. They don't have their normal communication. And we've seen a huge spike, not only in mental illness, but also a spike in suicides. And I think the bottom line here is we have good treatments for mental health. It's a matter then of reaching out for that person. We have excellent antidepressants work. We have cognitive behavioral therapy, which is the only therapy that has really been shown scientifically to work. It's worthwhile. It's approachable. People can get it either online or directly there. But it's recognizing when you have depression that you need help and then trying to get that help, because healthcare providers and others are really the key source. But if you don't ask, you don't end up getting help.
Right. And it's reassuring to know there is so much help out there.
Absolutely.
The head of the FDA said today that it now appears likely that most people will eventually either be exposed or infected by Omicron. Is this just a reality that we have to grasp now moving forward?
I think we have to. Omicron is incredibly infectious compared to Delta and compared to the first COVID that actually came out. And what we've discovered is that Omicron appears to infect so many people that it's almost going to be hard not to be infected by Omicron. And of course, we know that you're 30 times more likely to end up in the hospital if you're not immunized. So we know immunization keeps it down. And I think we'll get to a point where we live in the future with Omicron, with COVID, just like we live with influenza. And once we get to that point, then society is going to completely reopen. But the Omicron variant is incredibly infectious. But luckily, most people do not get seriously ill. And the ones who don't get seriously ill are the ones who receive their jabs, their shots.
That's right. Okay, if you have a question, now is the time to pick up the phone to dial in for your question for Dr. Pastor.
The number to call is 608-270-9933. We'll get to your questions right after this.
Welcome into another Buzzed in a Madison Money Minute. Now you know this friendly face because this is the second time you're back. Matt Cutlin of Midwest Financial Group. So during this post-holiday, New Year time of year, we really want to start thinking of your financial health as possibly a resolution.
Well, people make New Year's resolutions. It's really easy to think about that as it applies to your body, but finances and stressing about finances or not stressing about finances is a really big thing for people. And so I think you treat it the same way you would your health. And people will go have an annual checkup at a doctor. I think having an annual checkup on your finances would be a wise move.
I love that analogy. And you're available for checkups, right? You're taking new patients.
I guess call me a doctor in that regard.
So winter is also another great time for really planning for some maybe unexpected financial situations that could arise.
Well, you think about it. You have your home, and you plan for what if the furnace goes out, and you've got the car. What if you need a jump start? Your finances are the same way. Your retirement planning, things are going to unexpectedly come up. So having a plan, working on thinking through that ahead of time so that you're not caught off guard can go a long way.
This is such an exciting time of year because I always feel like it's a possibility for a new start. Maybe you're thinking about retirement. Maybe you want to just make sure everything's in order. Right now is the time to really figure out what your plan is.
Well, we always say that the best time to do a financial plan is today. The next best time is tomorrow. The next best time is the third day after that. Knowing about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and then positioning yourself sooner rather than later is really important.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. You can call Dr. Matt and make an appointment at his clinic, Midwest Financial Group. I'm Emmy Fink from Hilldale, and you are buzzed into
Madison.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-6947. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-6947.
And a brief look at our traffic update as we're going to be seeing lots of green along the Beltline. However, for some of our residential roads, especially towards Mineral Points, a bit of a slower spot as traffic is starting to pick up as we're going in throughout the rest of this evening. However, the one good news is the interstate is all green to go for us as we're starting off heading into the rest of our evening commute. So that's some things to take away as you're starting to drive this evening. But that's going to do it for traffic. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, Julian, thank you. Dr. Zorba Pastor is in his office ready to take your calls at 270-9933. And we have lots of callers, so we'll start with Ellie from Madison. Hi, Ellie, what's your question?
Yes, I've been sick, and I'd like to know what the difference is between the Omicron variant and COVID.
Oh, sure. Well, the Omicron variant is a variant of COVID. The first COVID that came out, the CDC sort of labels them. That was Alpha. Delta came out that was much more serious and infectious. And we've gotten to another variant of RNA called Omicron. But Omicron is a COVID virus. It is the same virus, just a variation of the initial virus.
So if you're not feeling well, Ellie, maybe you should get a test.
Get checked, no doubt.
All right.
All right, let's go to Maria in Madison. Hi, Maria, what's your question?
Yes, thanks for taking my call. My question is that a lot of my friends, neighbors have, my question is this, Dr. Zorba, thanks for taking my call anyways.
I think you're hearing the delay on your television.
You're hearing a delay. Just don't listen to the TV.
Yeah, sorry, doctor.
She wants to know if she's boosted. Should she maybe get another booster shot?
The answer is one booster. You get the initial immunization, and then you get the booster 5 months later, and that's considered to be fully immunized.
All right, and there's talk of maybe a fourth booster down the road.
Maybe. We don't really know.
But not yet.
Don't really know. Right now it's 3, and that's what the CDC recommends. Maybe we'll get some once a year. We're not really sure.
All right, let's go to Janice in Whitewater. Hi, Janice. What's your question?
Yes, the paper N95 masks, is there a shelf life? In other words, can you wear it just for one day? Can you wear it for a month, the same mask?
Good question.
That's kind of a good question. I think the shelf life is sort of what it feels like. In the hospital, we certainly have a shelf life because we wear it every day. I don't know exactly what the shelf life is of these masks, but on the whole, I think you certainly can use them for a week and they'll be fine. But I think that's a good question. I don't have the exact answer. Look at the mask, look at the CDC, and look at those recommendations.
I did look this up, as a matter of fact, and they're recommending about a week. Unless it gets real dirty or something, then replace it. But about 5 days for an N95.
Thanks. That's Dr. Mark.
You're welcome.
All right, let's go to Rita from Madison. Hi, Rita. What's your question?
Yeah, I'm immune suppressed, and I've had my second booster. And I understand that there's another one available for immune suppressed. Is that so?
Well, first of all, you get the 2 primary immunizations. Then you get the first booster, the booster, at 5 months. Now, whether or not people are immunized or then going to get another booster has not been determined by the CDC. But it's the 2-shot regime to begin with, or the J&J to begin with was a 1-shotter, and then you get that 1 booster. 3 shots, and at this moment, you've completed the series. That's the recommendation.
Can I give you some more info on this? After 5 months, if you're immunocompromised, you can get another booster. Because
that's it.
Our producer's dad is in that position, so we know that.
I mean, after you've already had
For 5 months later.
5 months later,
Instead of
after you had the initial booster, shot number 3.
All right. Anything else? Let's go to Roger. Let's go to Roger and Adams.
This is a team sport. That's what this
absolutely.
is.
Absolutely. Roger, go ahead.
Hi, Doc. This is Roger. I just recently got a head cold, and it's hard to breathe, and my nose is constantly running, and I got a temp of 101. I'm just wondering if I need to get tested.
You need to get tested. That's the answer. Might be COVID, might not be COVID, so you got to be tested.
All right.
All right. Let's go to Jim in Darlington. Hi, Jim. What's your question?
My question is, how much does each shot of the vaccine cost?
The shots are free. There shouldn't be any shot for any vaccines. It's covered.
No. Somebody's paying for it. How much does it cost the taxpayers for each shot?
Oh, I can't answer that question. I can't tell you exactly what it is. Supported by our taxes? Absolutely. I can't tell you what it is per shot. Good question, but I don't know.
All right. Let's go to Gary in Madison. Hi, Gary. What's your question? Gary, you there?
Yeah.
What's your question?
Dr. Zerber, I'm wondering if you have any insight on the reason why so many medical staff are leaving the Dean Care system. I've lost all my doctors in the last year, and my wife just got a letter that says her doctor's leaving.
Well, there's a turnover and there's a lot of compassion turnout. So a number of physicians, nurses, medical assistants are retiring or moving on to other jobs, and that's because COVID has put tremendous stress on the system. And I think we've seen this nationwide, definitely across the country, definitely across Wisconsin, and definitely across Madison and Dane County.
Yeah, it's taking a toll all over the place, that's for sure. Zerba, thank you for your time. Good to see you again. We'll see you next week.
Mark will borrow your white jacket next time.
Okay.
Get my stethoscope out. Yeah. Zorba, good to see you. We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
As you remodel, don't toss your cabinets and appliances. Donate to Habitat Restore. Give your items a second life while proceeds build Habitat for Humanity homes. Donate today. Habitat Restore, Dane County.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists and has helped over 1 million people. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Living with metastatic breast cancer means being relentless because every day matters. And having more of them is possible with Verzenio, the only one of its kind proven to help you live significantly longer when taken with fulvestrant, regardless of menopause status.
Verzenio plus fulvestrant is for HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer that has progressed after hormone therapy. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
Every day matters, and I want more of them.
Ask your doctor about Everyday Verzenio.
Tonight at 5, there's been a halt to the Chandler Halderson homicide trial. What's causing the delay, and what options will the defense have moving forward? And find out how the Boys and Girls Club is helping mitigate the Omicron surge. It's all ahead tonight at 5.
The launch of 5G cell service is causing major turbulence between airlines and wireless carriers, with customers caught in the middle. Eric Bronke gets to the bottom of the fight and how it could impact your next plane trip. Thursday on News 3 Now at 6.
And tonight will not be as cold as it has been in other nights, as we're looking at 23 degrees to be our lows. Cloudy conditions will roll in, and some flurries are possible later on. But we do have some more snow chances to feel a bit more like winter for the next few days. However, not looking for significant snowfall or accumulating snow. Still just enough to make the decor quite pretty on some trees. Meteorologist Dana Fulton will have more on this coming up at 5. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, as prices and inflation continue to rise, we'll find out what can can be done to slow things down.
And we go behind the wheel in the impossible-to-get Ford Bronco with our Harvey Briggs. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
It's January clearance time at A1 Furniture with 10 to 40% off store-wide and tax included on any purchase over $499. Huge selection in stock for immediate pickup or delivery, plus 1 year free financing.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
There's been much debate about the Mona Lisa smile. Would it have been bigger and brighter if she'd had good dental care? Maybe if Physicians Mutual Insurance Company had been around back then, it'd be a different story. She could have gone to the dentist more, knowing she'd have help paying the bills. And those regular checkups might have found early signs of tooth decay or gum disease, costly problems that could keep anyone from smiling. Physicians Mutual offers affordable coverage that can help pay for cleanings and unexpected or expensive procedures you might need, like crowns or dentures. This is real dental insurance, not just a discount plan or for checkups only. There are no deductibles, and there's no annual maximum. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Call or go online today for a free information kit from Physicians Mutual. Get the dental care you need to help you stay healthy. For your free information kit with all the details, call us now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Get the best deals on name brand mattresses only at A1 Furniture's January clearance event. Save 10 to 40% off and get tax included on any purchase over $499, plus 1 year free financing.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
In today's Final Touch, a lot of people like to ride their bikes all year long.
Well, a Russian engineer has designed a bicycle that's perfect for winter. The vehicle includes an enclosed cab to protect the rider from bitter weather. The design engineer has made a velomobile. That's a vehicle driven by pedals on bicycle wheels, the same as an ordinary bike, but with some slight modifications. The vehicle can reach speeds of up to 25 miles an hour with the pedals and up to 31 miles an hour going downhill. The motor helps his velomobile drive over snowdrifts. Despite its unusual appearance, the engineer believes bicycle is the best description for his contraption. I don't know. What do you think, Susan?
Well, he should see the guys riding their bikes in Madison.
I know. They just go through anything.
They do. They're tough.
Regardless. All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.
Right now, masking up made easy.